So when we're working in here, we will be using the grid, and I want to show you how that works because we're going to work on our movement of our main player or character. When you look at the grid, this is 0, 0. So the X is left to right and Y is up and down. This very center part right here is 200, 200. So if we have X going this way and this way, and Y going this way and this way, when we're moving our player around, we want them to move in the correct direction. So we're going to use the arrow keys on our touchpad on our computers to move our player around the screen. So when we press the up arrow, we want the Y value to decrease. This is 0, this is 400. So here is 400 Y down here, and 0 Y is at the top. 0X is this line right here, and 400 is over here. Sorry for the scribbly drawing. That's as good as it does on here. So if we want to take our player and move her up because we did the up arrow, that means that her Y value is going from a big number to a little number, so we're going to subtract from it. And if we move her down, the Y value is going to get bigger. The X is going to be if we're moving left and right. If we're moving her left on the screen, her X value is getting lower because the 0 line is on this side, so we'll subtract from her location. And if she's going right, we will add because it's going to 400. Okay, so now that you know the basics of this, let's look at it and code it, and it hopefully will make a little bit more sense then. All right. I am going to be putting everything into something called a function. A function is just a neat little package that you can call that does a specific task. Don't mind the airplane taking off. I'm outside right now trying to enjoy these last couple days before STEAM camp. So I'm going to make a function, and I'm going to call it move player. This move player function is where I'm going to check to see if a key has been pressed down, and then move the player in that direction. So I need to call this from within my main draw loop. So I'm going to say move player. What I'm going to be checking for is which key has been pressed down. So I'm going to grab the if statement here, and I'm actually going to need 4 of them. So you could grab all 4 out if you want. So the first thing that we're going to look for is key down. It's in world. I want to know which key is down. So there's the up arrow, and then left and right. So what we want to do is make our player then move a little bit in the direction of the arrow that we push. So to do that, we're going to go to sprite, and if they've gone up, they're moving on the y-axis. So we're going to click on sprite.y, first pull sprite.y over, and we want to say player y equals, and you can pull another. You can use the math blocks or you can type them in, that's up to you. I'm going to subtract from my y to go up the screen. So I would pull over this, and then let's write y right here. Oops. If he would go in the right place. Player y minus 3 or 2, whatever, you can play with it once it's running to see what you like that or not. So for down, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to say player y equals player y plus 3. So you can go and grab these again. So we'll say player y equals, I'm going to type it in this time so you can see that, player period y plus 3. And when you press enter, it forms the blocks that you would have grabbed. So that's the other option for that. Left is going to be the x-axis. So I'm going to grab player x equals player dot x minus 3. So that's going to go this way, left. And then right is player dot x equals player dot plus 3. Now if I reset and run, when I go up, she moves up, down, left, and right. Now it's kind of funny because her costume doesn't really change. You can change the way she looks when she's going left by going into animation and going to your unicorn, and I'm going to rename her unicorn right, and I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to flip her and rename this unicorn left. And then in code, I'm going to go back up to where I made the unicorn, the player right here, and I'm going to start her with unicorn right, but when she moves left or right, I'm going to change her animation so that she's facing the right direction. This is not something you have to do, it's just kind of a little extra. Now when I run this, she turns in the direction, and up and down are fine, it doesn't need to be changed. That's movement, that's moving your player.